everybody, welcome to New Year's Eve. So today is the last day of 2020 and I'm super excited because even if this year had not been like the year that it's been, I always love a fresh start. I'm always really excited about the new year and the new possibilities, and 2021 is no exception. I'm just really looking forward to a lot of changes that are happening now and coming in the new year. But today we are going to be celebrating ushering out 2020. We're going to be pretty low key. That's not due to COVID. Nate and I are homebodies. We prefer being at home. So this year's going to be like any other New Year's for us, just home with some good food, games, and puzzles. We got some new things for Christmas we want to try out. I've got some new recipes to try, so that should be pretty fun. Tomorrow we have a few things we want to accomplish on New Year's Day, but again, it should be pretty low key. So come along with us and let's ring in the new year. We had kind of quiet afternoon, so Ruby and I decided to go on a walk to a park near our home, and it's right along a lake. I just love this park. No matter what time of year, it is always so beautiful. And one of my favorite stops along the way is this bench. I just love this quote. It's so sweet, and the view, if you're sitting on this bench, is just magnificent. Looking over the lake and all the trees, so beautiful. Hey, so Ruby and I just got done with our walk and I happened to look at my phone and I had a notification from Target for a pickup, which was weird because I had a shipped order delivered. It was actually dropped off at 9 o'clock this morning. Well, it turns out one of the things I had put in my cart, which is this little bag of candy that I thought it would be fun to try, was not available for shipped delivery. It's available for pickup only. So we had to drive over to Target and I'm waiting. I got a notification that the wait times are longer than usual because of the holiday. So I'm just patiently waiting to pick up a small bag of candy. And then I'm going to drop Ruby at home and I'm actually going to head over to visit with my niece and nephew and see their puppy a little bit today. So I'm just getting home. I had a great time with my niece and nephew. We played a game and played outside with the dog. And now Nate is home and we have the fire started, got some holiday decorations lit up in the house, and just excited to start our New Year's Eve celebration. Okay, so I've eaten baked brie before and love it, but this is the first time that I am going to try to make it on my own. I've heard it's really simple, so we'll see. Got my puff pastry laid out. I picked up some brie cheese on our last Walmart pickup, and then the recipe that I was loosely going off of called for some fig jam. I had this fig butter left over from a recipe. It's from Trader Joe's, and I'm gonna try that instead of the jam. I hope it's gonna be super yummy. So I'm getting started by spreading out all of my fig butter onto the puff pastry. I did thaw the puff pastry at room temperature for a few hours, and it is spreading really well, except the parchment paper on the pan is quite slippery, so I did have a little issue with that kind of slip and sliding around, but it spread on pretty easily. This tool that I'm using was working absolutely great. I picked it up at a specialty kitchens shop. I'll see if I can find it online and link it below. It works really great. It is my go-to for cake decorating and jobs like this. Once I had all the fig butter spread out, it was time to set the brie in the middle, and then I just topped it with some more fig butter and then added a generous amount of sea salt. Once that was all done, it was time to start wrapping it up. Honestly, this did not go as smoothly as I was hoping it would. I guess you can't really screw it up, but it was a lot of dough to get folded around those corners. And the recipe said to make sure that there are no gaps or the cheese will leak out when baking. So it was a little tricky to come together, but it worked. And then it was time to add just an egg wash all over. I had 1 egg beaten and added a little bit of water to it, and then just generously coated the outside of the pastry shell before adding a little more salt. Once you have your salt added, you just put it in a preheated oven at 375 and bake it for between 20 and 30 minutes. Okay, it is all done. It looks so delicious. I was a little worried about over baking it, and I kind of started wondering if I underbaked it, but it just looks so delicious. There were these little things on the side, and at first I thought my cheese leaked out, but they removed really easily. I think I just got a little carried away with my egg wash. And getting it off the pan seemed to be the most challenging part I had in the whole process. I had to pull out the big guns with this pancake spatula, and even then I had to stop recording and use 2 hands just to get it off the cookie sheet. It weighed a ton. So while the brie had been baking in the oven, I had put together a little charcuterie board with a few things that we had on hand and then some things that I had bought just to have, especially on New Year's. We knew we didn't want to have a big heavy meal because we were going to be up and snacking. So just got some cheese cubes from Walmart, a 3-pack of some peppered and Italian salamis, and then added some olives and nuts and different crackers and bagel chips and things that we had on hand. I also cut up a little bit of apples, so we had a little bit of sweet there. And then I was super excited because I finally had an excuse to try to use one of these. We got them for our wedding and they just cracked me up. They're a set of kind of spreading knives from a company called Mud Pie, and I thought they would be really funny and work with the brie. So this knife, or spreader, I should call it, was better in theory. It did not work very well. I kind of got through this, but it was a pain to dig out, and later in the night we just ended up getting a sharper knife to get to our ooey gooey brie, but it turned out super well. I thought really good combination of flavors, and it was super delicious. And obviously, because it's a holiday, we have to have some special treats. I had picked up some mini cream puffs and eclairs, and then we were gifted a box of these amazing chocolate truffles for Christmas. I have to tell you, I think this is one of my favorite meals over the holiday. Does anybody else feel like charcuterie boards are just a grown-up way of having a Lunchable and being okay with it? I think so. Every year we like to watch a little bit of the programming. We don't stay tuned in all night, but we were definitely curious this year to see how things would play out because things are so different because of COVID. But it was nice just sitting in front of the TV. We still had the tree up. I never take that down until after New Year's because I like to enjoy it as long as I can. And of course we had the fire going. It was just a really cozy night. I think I had mentioned earlier that we had a shipped order delivered earlier in the day, and I was super excited to try a new flavor. I'm so late to the party trying these sparkling ices, but I put it in a fancy glass so it felt extra special for New Year's Eve. I have to say the raspberry was pretty good, but it didn't hold the candle to the pineapple coconut. Those have to be my all-time faves so far. So for Christmas, we were gifted this game called Farmably, which is pretty much Monopoly, but it was so super cute. We had a lot of fun playing it, well, some fun. Ruby was our banker and she didn't enjoy it. In fact, at one point I tried to give her some of the money, see how she'd deal with it, and she kind of got scared and ran away. So I don't think she was doing her job very well. We were just cracking up all night because she sat there looking hurt and confused the whole time we were playing the game. But if anybody ever wants to know why I hate playing Monopoly with Nate, it's because he gloats so hard. I always lose, he always wins, and he had kept putting houses or acres and then barns on top until I lost pretty quickly. And Ruby eventually lost interest and decided to take things out on Santa, I guess, for the evening. I mentioned that I am definitely a morning person and I am not a night owl, so it gets challenging on nights like New Year's Eve, and Ruby and I were both feeling it, getting super tired. So I had to go and make myself a cup of coffee, and I had used this glass mug that I had gotten not too long ago. I've seen this done before, but I've never actually done it, where you froth the milk first and put that in the cup, and then you let the Nespresso, like, it shoots all the way through the milk and it creates these really, really beautiful layers. I was just in love with this and wondered why I hadn't done it sooner. I seriously am going to be using this cup from now on. The Nespresso machine I have is the Nespresso Vertuo is it an Evolution or Evolu? It's a coffee and espresso maker, and I have just been loving it. I will make sure and link it below. Then it was Ruby's turn for a pick-me-up. We have a dog that just has a ton of energy, so we end up playing fetch most nights in the house. This girl is just obsessed with it. Once you get her started, it's hard to stop, and it just really helps her run out all those wiggles that she gets. I had not planned a thing for New Year's. Like, beyond the baked brie and the charcuterie, I didn't really think much beyond the food. And so we had nothing to toast at midnight, but I dug out of the pantry this bottle of sparkling, I don't know what you call it, fake wine or sparkling juice from IKEA. And I haven't been to IKEA since before COVID, so this has been hanging around for a while, but it still tasted good. I'm glad that I had something that was a little festive, and it looked so pretty when it was poured in. It was this pretty pink, so fun and festive. I have had these glasses forever. I got them about 10 years ago at Target, I think on New Year's Eve. I just love them so much. So as we got nearer to the countdown, we tuned back in and watched some of the programming. Did anybody else hear, I think his name's Craig Robinson, Daryl from The Office? He did a song about 2020 and it was absolutely hilarious. I'm gonna have to look that up and listen to it again. We were laughing. So thanks so much for hanging around with us on New Year's Eve. I'm actually going to end this vlog here. We had a lot of content for today and some fun things coming tomorrow, and I'll do a separate vlog for New Year's Day. So if you haven't already, make sure and click on the little house in the lower right-hand corner to subscribe to the channel. And with that, I'll say Happy New Year and cheers to 2021.